Okay, look, I'm just going to level with you. Aside from my Ferengi head, which we talked about yesterday on NXT Ups and Downs, in the last 24 hours, I also went and got food poisoning. It's going to be a very calm and a very quiet episode. I apologise, but I understand my responsibility as Mr. Ups and Downs. But yes, if you are interested, I feel like death, food poisoning, can kiss my ball there. Let us up those downs. Turn the volume all the way down. Randy Orton, however, is excellent. I know over the last few years some people looked at him and go, oh, he's so boring. But right now he is on fire as if he's in NBA Jam. It wouldn't surprise me if next week on Raw he comes out and he just bursts into flames. He was out for his no-hold-barred match against Matt Hardy, but he let us know there is no way that is happening because Matt is backstage right now and nobody will clear him. And Matt Hardy did come out and you're like, yeah, there's no way that guy is getting cleared. He looked like he was about to go into surgery, but he was still defiant here. He was like, listen to me, Randy Orton, this does not end on your terms because Matt Hardy will not die. And I think Randy took that as a challenge because Orton did threaten to RKO Matt Hardy until all of a sudden he just switched on a dime and he was apologising and saying how much he respected Matt Hardy and that none of us would ever be able to understand what he did to Edge, and he just slowly started to leave the ring, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Understandably, Matt wasn't going to let it end that way, because, 7 days ago, the man had tried to murder him, so he went and got a steel chair, and he postured to Randy Orton, come on, let's go one more time. And this is why this storyline is so good, because ever since Randy Orton's been coming out to, I hear voices in my head, do you really, other than having the lyrics in your song, do you actually hear voices in your head? Probably not, but this character, this version of Orton, it kind of feels like he does, because again, he's just 1 minute he's a happy dude, 1 minute he's a sad dude, 1 minute he looks really torn inside. It's flipping great. He nailed Matt with an RKO, went to give him a normal concerto and changed his mind and took him over to the ring stairs and did it there instead. And if this angle isn't what writes Matt Hardy off television, well, I may start thinking that maybe, just maybe, wrestling is fake. Matt was taken away on a stretcher as the announcers did their sad voices like, oh, we're so sorry for what you have seen just here, ladies and gentlemen. And I would guess this is the last we see of Matt Hardy in WWE, but fair play to him for giving it his all. And for Randy Orton, like I say, he is 100% great. And it was then Aleister Black versus Eric Rowan, and straight away I would understand if you went, well, that's a match I don't want to see, given how Eric Rowan has been booked recently. Like, he's in squash matches, he's got that stupid cage. By the way, with that stupid cage, I'm now convinced that WWE is never actually going to tell us what was in the cage and we're just going to have to pretend it didn't exist, and that will really piss me off. But also, Aleister Black has kind of been lost in translation recently. And then all of a sudden, they came together and had this really, really entertaining match. And I ain't kidding. Why? Because this was absolutely excellent. Well, maybe not excellent, but it was very fun. Because Aleister Black was flipping his way to the outside, and when he was there, Eric Rowan ran at him, gave him a diving crossbody. And there was even a near fall after a powerbomb by Rowan that actually made me bite. And I went, oh my gosh, they're going to have Aleister Black lose. Thankfully, I was incorrect. WWE even kept the former Wyatt member really strong because it didn't take one black mess, it took two. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. If you want to repeat this match at some point in the future, WWE, I will actually be on board. Charlotte Flair promo followed this, and it's fine, but down. Wasn't bad, but it was just kind of there. She mentioned going to NXT TakeOver Portland and absolutely wrecking Rhea Ripley after she had defended her title against Bianca Belair. But then she went on a big tirade about you didn't have to scratch and crawl like I've had to scratch and crawl, and because you haven't scratched and crawled, I don't like you, you non-scratcher and non-crawler. And I sat there going, pretty sure Rhea Ripley scratch and crawl. I mean, she's from Australia. That's a long way to come. She is going to win at WrestleMania and reclaim her NXT Championship, and she finished her promo by saying everybody is the next big thing until they're not anymore. And that's either really poignant or just a bunch of words put together. Man, the 24/7 title stuff has gotten really weird. Like a few weeks ago, it looked like we're going in a brand new direction, and it was quite exciting. And then here, we're just having a triple threat match between Mojo Rawley, Riddick Moss, and R-Truth, and it barely went 2 minutes. Down. And even though it was a proper bout as opposed to just a bunch of geeks running around backstage, it still finished with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. Again, we're turning that one down when Riddick Moss rolled up Mojo Rawley to get the 1, 2, 3. Riddick Moss then just ran away through the crowd as if he remembered he left the oven on, and R-Truth whooped Mojo's ass even after the match was done. So my big question now is, who has Mojo Rawley pissed off? He gets a story in focus for like 2 weeks and then someone says, nah, we ain't doing it anymore. Just becomes a chump. I don't understand. We are being very smart with Drew McIntyre though, as I said on last week's episode, or Drew McCheese, as my phone kept auto-correcting to it. Imagine WWE does that. If WWE changes Drew McIntyre's name to Drew McCheese, his whole push is going to fall into the floor. Luckily, they haven't done that so far, and I regret saying it because I bet they do now, and he comes out with some cheese, some cheddar, and that will absolutely suck, but he's great. He's just a proper goof now, and that makes him so damn likeable, especially because you can look at him and go, well, it doesn't matter he's a giant goof, because he can still beat everybody up. And he said he wasn't going to point the WrestleMania sign this week, because Charlotte Flair had already done that, but he did have a little idea for everyone in the audience, and he did his whole 3, 2, 1, and we all pointed at the sign together, and I did it too, because I had a bad day, and I wanted to feel like I had a friend. Also said that Claymore County is located within Suplex City, and he is going to demolish that bitch. And I went on Google Maps, and I tried to find all this. I don't think he was telling the truth. Paul Heyman then arrived and pretended that Brock Lesnar was there, but of course he wasn't, but he just wanted to say Brock Lesnar's name, because it's nice to say Brock Lesnar's name, because that's the name that will be being said after Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar do go at it at the show of shows. And he's right. I gave it a little go. I kept going, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. I'm like, that is a fun name to say. MVP was then out for a match against Drew, and this is when the smartness just kept on shining through, because even though MVP smacked him in the head with the microphone, McIntyre must have won in around about 120 seconds. He Claymore kicked his head off. I am all behind Drew McIntyre. Not literally. Becky Lynch promo was next. Up. These are the kind of ideas we need for the man, because she was out here with a paper bag and she just started throwing money onto the floor, and what she was doing was paying her fine before she beats up Shayna Baszler, because she's going to whoop her ass so badly she already knows she's going to get into trouble. Just made her come across as really, really cool. Said that only animals go after somebody's neck because they're trying to weaken their prey before finishing them off. And hilariously, that does seem to be Becky Lynch's big problem. She doesn't appreciate the fact that Shayna Baszler sees her as an animal. Like, Bex doesn't actually see you as an animal. You came up with this, like, analogy, and now you're pretending that it's real. Shayna was then on the big screen, and she actually said that at the Elimination Chamber, she'll do really well because that's a cage, and she comes from cage fighting. That was not the best line of the night, but it's okay because she made up for it by finishing her promo by saying that she's going to tear the shit out of Becky Lynch. I like this feud already. I like this program. I hope when they do get into it at WrestleMania, they just try and kill each other. It's all right. Angel Garza as well, man. What a breath of fresh air. He was teaming up with Bobby Lashley to take on the returning Rusev and Humberto Carrillo. This just made my loins pick up, and I felt like a positivity pit. Give it up. The highlight was when Garza took off his pants and just chucked them in Rusev's face, and he was so proud of himself, he went outside to the crowd and he got somebody to kiss him on the cheek. But as soon as that lady had done that, Humberto Carrillo just dived at him. It was actually quite funny. It was all back and forth from here, but why can't WWE come up with a new finish? I didn't do this earlier, but I'll do it now. Bring down my roll-up counter, my surprise roll-up counter. It was at 4 last week, now it's at 5. We haven't added the 24/7 title one, we'll do it now. And it goes up to 6, because yes, Angel won here after the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, when he grabbed Rusev in the schoolboy and held his tights. WWE, do anything else. You have, like, creative minds. Not every single match has to end with a damn roll-up. And sure, Ruru kicked Garza out the ring afterwards, which is also very entertaining. If we had just, like, made that one change, all of this would be much better than it was, because it was good. Why are our tag team champions feuding with Natalya? Like, 1, this sucks, because it doesn't feel as important as when they were doing it with Becky Lynch. And 2, they have tag team championships. Why aren't they defending them? Down. I do need to say, let's not forget that Asuka and Kairi Sane are among the most underused and underdeserved heroes on the entire WWE roster, because they showed footage of when Asuka did kick Natalya so hard in the face she had a black eye, and then they pretended that they felt really sorry for Natty. Then made us know they were definitely joking and just shouted in Natalya's face, "We don't care, we don't care, we don't care." I know there's a lot of controversy around their heel turn. I'm enjoying the shit out of it. And the reason for the down is because once again, we had a stupid ending. Because Natalya could have beaten Kairi Sane here. She was about to lock in the sharpshooter, but then Asuka got up on the apron, so Natalya thought, oh, well, I didn't worry about the match. I'll go deal with her instead. And eventually she went out the ring, Asuka booted her in the skull, Natalya got counted out, Kairi Sane won by countout. Which means 100% WWE will do this again next week. I was also a bit confused about Seth Rollins' sermon. Like, WWE had promoted and built this up all week, and it just came out and he cut a basic promo. Down. He said that phase 1 was done and he was about to start with phase 2, so I can only presume he's now working with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and basically phase 2 is just that he's going to try and recruit more people and let people that don't believe in him know that their places are crap. I mean, yeah, I could have told you that, and I could have done it in half the time we had done here, and eventually the Viking Raiders were out and they were beating up AOP and Murphy, not Buddy Murphy, because he liked his first name. And even though Seth Rollins ran away from the ring, because he didn't want to get away from this, he turned around, he got stunned by Kevin Owens, and this was just to set up our main event, which is going to be a 6-man tag. it just didn't really live up to my expectations, and that was doubly true because then after this, we had another long in-ring promo segment, and that's just bad structuring, but this one was much better. Up. It was the returning AJ Styles and the OC, and I love AJ's heel's character because he told us that he was the best superstar on any roster ever, and yet somehow he still has his critics. It's an absolute joke. What a goon. He's going to win the gauntlet match at Super Showdown and then challenge the WWE Champion, whoever that may be. And then he started dropping names like Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, The Undertaker, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and Ricochet. And then because this is Monday Night Raw, as soon as he said Ricochet's name, Ricochet came out to the ring like magic. Styles continued the jokes by saying that he didn't actually think Ricochet was going to win the WWE title and he was just winding him up. And basically this led to Carl Anderson versus Ricochet, which Ricochet won, which we needed to do because of course he does have his big match with the Beast in Saudi Arabia in a couple of weeks. He also won with another new finisher here. How many finishers does Rick need? It was the Benadryl though, which is that cool like fireman's carry kick thing. I actually think maybe he should stick with this. I got mad at the main event though, probably because I don't feel well. Down. It was Kevin Owens teaming up with the Viking Raiders to take on AOP and Murphy, Don't Say the Buddy, and after around about 15 minutes of action, out came Seth Rollins. He curb stomped Kevin Owens, and that caused the DQ. I mean, tell me about the law of diminishing returns, because that is the biggest example of this. I get it, they're the biggest heel group in the WWE right now, so they probably need to do it. It's just so dull. Afterwards was a little fruity too, because Seth said he was going to crucify Kevin Owens. And didn't we learn from last time when we were crucifying people? That's what they wanted to do. Thankfully, this did not happen as the Street Profits of all people made the save, and I did get a kick out of that, because they should be involved in main event matches and not just hanging out backstage as reporters. There was no Samoa Joe either, which I can't understand. Maybe I missed something, but please do let me know in the comments below. I can only assume that he was out there trying to make sure he doesn't lose his first name, because that has been an epidemic of his late. He doesn't want to come back to Raw and just be known as Sam. And that was the end of Raw. I will say that it wasn't as good as some of the other shows that we did, but it wasn't bad. There was nothing terrible here, and it was enjoyable enough. So there's my spinny arrow. I am going to give it an up. Now I'm going to lay down and die. I feel terrible. Now make sure you leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's episode of Raw. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com, read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE. Watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling. My name is Simon Miller from WhatCulture. Sorry, this was a very downbeat episode. But when I was shivering this morning, shivering, that's how you get food poisoning, you shiver and you're like a crazy person, but again, nothing's going to stop me from upping those downs. I am a beast of war. All that means, but it does spell out bow. I will see you soon.